Long time no see, but we've done it again. We've got another 250. This time Beast Tamer. Now I'm going to preface this one by saying I drastically underestimated how strong Beast Tamer was coming into this, and I feel like I over-prepared. I was almost 2 times as strong as I needed to be to get to 250, but that made the grind easier on the way there. For my skills, Bear and Leopard mainly, I would suggest if you're planning to get to 250, put enough points into Hawk, like about 150, you don't need all of them, just enough to get all the major mobility ones, because Hawk is actually unbelievably useful for Spirit Savior. Your fly is so fast that the Spirit can't even catch up to you, and the double flash jump plus the ridiculous up jump just makes Spirit Savior a joke. For V-Matrix, I literally just picked up pretty much every single node, with priority being placed on the Little Fort branch, because those are mainly the skills you'll be using the entire way. Bear mode is invaluable for both bossing and mobbing, so I would recommend prioritizing getting those over Leopard or Hawk. Leopard it's useful, but the hitboxes on Macho, Brace, and Slam are actually terrible, and I feel like it ruins the flow for so many potential maps that I really wouldn't recommend grinding as Leopard past 200 because it just isn't worth it. I mean, if you have a Frenzy, it's not worth it. If you don't have a Frenzy, there are some maps that are really good to rotate as Leopard, but I still feel like the hitbox issue is very, very prevalent. For gear, again, I feel like I way over prepared on this. All of this is pretty much the same drop gear that I used on the Battle Mage, with a few additions of a now 22-star belt for additional stat, a 15-star Absol Scepter, which this is pretty nice because it has the Lucid Soul, but I don't think I needed to get as much magic attack as I ended up having, because this shield more than carries its weight. It's ridiculously strong and completely unnecessary for this 250. And then just a 15% stat emblem. All the rest of the gear is the same as the Battle Mage. So we'll jump right into what maps I use to train. For 200 to 210, very, very, very obviously is Fez 2. Now I'd recommend highly to use a Frenzy Totem and a Ron Link level 3 if you have it, because Beast Tamer completely abuses Fez 2 for a Ron Link. If it's frenzied, you just drop Frenzy to the top, put down Trumpet there, then you wait, put down Trumpet in the middle, and then you wait, and you put down Trumpet on the bottom, and you full clear the map practically. You can even jump to the side here and drop Little Fort. And if you have a Lucid Soul, you can put Lucid Soul on the other side. And it will pretty much full clear the map every second that they spawn. It is the fastest 200 to 210 character in the game pretty much. Okay, I don't want to KS this guy. Okay, I don't want to KS him. Just wanted to show you the rotation. 210 to 220 is going to be in Choo Choo. My preferred map was Biddy Bopple 1. However, there is another map you can use. I did Biddy Bopple 1 because at the time of doing this, Barrow was so unbelievably laggy that using the other map would just cause my game to freeze even more than the botters were. But the rotation here is very, very simple. You just Trumpet, drop down, Lucid Soul. Oh, it's not off cooldown. But that's where Lucid Soul would go. Trumpet in the middle, and then jump up, and then Trumpet on the top, with Little Fort on the side. So you have Little Fort on one side, Lucid Soul on the other, and then just Trumpet each of the platforms. It's very, very fast. It's pretty much... I would say it's the fastest when it's laggy, but this other map is slightly faster if there's no lag, which there isn't currently, so I'll show it off as well. This is the map I wanted to use ideally, because it's very, very good, but once again, the botters made it so laggy it just wasn't worth it. With Frenzy, you just fire 1, rope lift up, fire 2, jump over to the middle. Now you can either do Lucid Soul or Little Fort. I had Little Fort at the time, so I'll just drop him. Then you just fire 3, jump up to the top, wait for Trumpet's cooldown, fire again, and then you just complete this in an X rotation. And then once you get to 215, you'll have Cub Cavalry, so just use that on cooldown as well. It'll help clear the map since Trumpet's realistically only going to be killing on 3 of the 4 platforms at any given time, so Cub Cavalry will help cover where Trumpet is not. And this map is pretty much the ideal for Choo Choo to get you up into Lachlan. Now once you get to Lachlan, obviously the most overpowered map in the game, Rev 3, there really isn't any difference between the EXP rate in that prior map and Rev 3. However, you can do Rev 3 if you like, start accruing your Lachlan symbols, start getting droplets earlier. That's what I did because I absolutely need Lachlan stuff because I am weak on most of these 250s, so I don't get symbols that quickly. But for Rev 3, I just put Lucid on the house because it makes it easy. And then you just fire in the middle, fire on this platform, and then fire in the upper right. And then I dropped Little Fort there on that portal. The XP rate in this map, as I said, is pretty much the same as the last map in Choo Choo Island. However, it does get you those drops as I mentioned. Now, as you notice, all of my rotations are going to be based around Trumpet, because with Frenzy and with Trumpet 1 or 2 ticking, there really isn't any room for improvement on your EXP per second with Leopard or Hawk. Trumpet farming is just so fast that there's just no competition. I've tried so many maps. There's even one map in Moonbridge I wanted to test out for EXP rates with Frenzy for if you go past 250, and quite honestly, I don't think there is a single map past 250 where Beast Tamer excels. So to any Beast Tamers going for 275, Godspeed for you. I don't know where you're going to train, because for me, this class is hard CLP locked. And mentioning CLP, this is the map where you'll be from 225 to 250. See if I can find a map here. This rotation pretty much self-explanatory. It's just Frenzy, Trumpet on the top, drop down. Once you get to 250, I drop the Will skill here in the middle. It doesn't matter where you drop the Will skill. Even if you put it on the very top, Will can hit the very bottom. So no matter where you put it on the map, it's going to hit mobs. And then you just Trumpet on the bottom. And since when I first got here, I was 2-ticking these mobs, I set Lucid Soul on the bottom and it just became a habit. My Lucid Soul would occasionally line up its attack with Trumpet's fire tick so that it would look like the mobs were getting 1-ticked. It wasn't an incredible increase in EXP, but it was slight enough and the attacks lined up just enough times that it became a habit of mine to drop it. So even now that I don't need it, where my fire 2 ticks pretty much every single time, even occasionally 1-ticking, I still dropped it on my journey to 250. Now, as I said before, if you have Frenzy, I honestly feel like Beast Tamer is hardcore CLP locked. Like, there are no maps in Morass really, because obviously Morass isn't that great. No maps in Esfera. No maps in Tenebris. Even the one I was checking out didn't even add up to Beast Tamer's rates that you get in CLP. So I feel like until you start getting EXP reduction at 257, Beast Tamer is just CLP locked for the best rates. And that is really disappointing. This would have been a class that I would have maybe thought about doing to 275 because it is unique and it is kind of fun, but with it being so heavily CLP locked for EXP rates, I'm probably just going to leave it at 250. But if you have any questions about Beast Tamer or how to grind Beast Tamer to 250, throw them in the comments down below. I'll answer any and all questions related to grinding to 250, grinding 10k Legion, or just grinding or playing as a Beast Tamer in general. So please, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you want to see more of these videos, I'll be covering all the 250s I do on my journey to 10k. Go ahead and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.